So dear students, welcome back to our practical session. So now I'll be just taking just 15 minutes more perhaps to complete our experiment number 1. No doubt experiment number 1 we will not be able to finish up in this session, but part of the things we'll discuss and you implement that much, and then our next session will be uh, offline. That means I'll be physically available in the lab. Okay. But because of certain constraints, I have to record this session in this train itself. So perhaps you may be experiencing some background noise or maybe some lag in my voice because of this thing. I mean to say weak or poor connection, okay? Network connection, I mean to say. So no problem. I will continue with remaining part of the today's task. Now I think the screen is visible and I am audible to you. So in first part, what we saw was this: like we were given a task of uh, implementing a menu-driven sort of uh, program, wherein we were asked to uh, use three different options. That is, three different options were given to the user, and user was choosing one of this. And if user chooses neither of these options, so we were simply printing a wrong choice. So this was our menu, and menu is implemented using if elif statements of Python. Now what I will be doing here is, like, I will start with our first experiment. So our first experiment is collision handling. So we already have a class called collision handling with that name, and we have this methods or functions: display vada pav or disp samosa. Fine. So what we will be doing here is, now we will be actually implementing our hash table. Now in this particular program, we are asked to do collision handling using two techniques. First is linear probing and the other one is quadratic probing. So we will just see linear probing, and that too only a few options of that. Maybe perhaps if we could finish up, we will finish up all the operations under this collision handling. If not, then at least we will create an empty hash table and we will display it. So what I need to do, I need to have a hash table data structure. That means I need some data structure to store my records or information as a hash table. So how do you create hash table in Python? तर पायथॉन मध्ये आपण हॅश टेबल कसा क्रिएट करणार? तर आता हे बघा की मी हा जो प्रोग्राम आहे त्या प्रोग्रामचा कोड ऑलरेडी इम्प्लिमेंटेड आहे, तोच वापरणार आहे. ठीक आहे. आता इथे काय करायचं आहे मला, इथे ह्या प्रोग्रामला या क्लासला मॉडिफाय करायचं आहे. तर आता मला हॅश टेबल हवा. तर हॅश टेबल आपण कसा इम्प्लिमेंट करू शकतो पायथॉन मध्ये? पण पायथॉन मध्ये हॅश टेबल हॅश टेबल किंवा कुठलाही डेटा स्ट्रक्चर व्हेरिएबल्स हे आपण पायथॉन मध्ये कन्स्ट्रक्टर मध्ये टाकतो. सो व्हॉट इज कन्स्ट्रक्टर? इट इज समथिंग विच कन्स्ट्रक्ट्स दी रिसोर्सेस फॉर दी क्लास. सो हाऊ टू राईट इट? तर परत तेच डेफ अंडरस्कोर init nit init अंडरस्कोर आणि bracket, and it is self. Okay, done. What I have to do now, here I need two hash tables. Why do I need two hash tables? That is, one for hash table which will handle the collision using linear probe, the other one hash table which handles the collision using quadratic probe. So how do you create that? So I will now create. So again I have to use self dot, and then I will say ht stands for hash table and linear. Okay, done. So this is my first hash table for linear probe. And how do you create it? Just using list. So you can use like this. So this is your first hash table. So list we are using as a data structure to store the hash table. Fine. आता दुसरा हॅश टेबल आपल्याला कशाचा हवा आहे? दुसरा हॅश टेबल हवा आहे आपल्याला क्वाड्रॅटिक प्रोबिंगचा. तर मग ते इथे मी करतो. मग हे आहे क्वाड्रॅटिक. एस टी स्टँड्स फॉर हॅश टेबल and this is quadratic. QUA quadratic. Done. आता हे झालंय. पण in addition to this two tables, what we need something called a bucket size. Why do we need bucket size? कारण list is something which grows infinitely and can shrink up to zero size. तर लिस्टचा प्रॉब्लेम हा आहे की ते डायनॅमिक डेटा स्ट्रक्चर आहे. पण आपल्याला सिम्युलेशन जे करायचं हॅश टेबलचं, दॅट इज अ स्टॅटिक फिक्स साइज. अँड वाय डू आय सिलेक्ट लिस्ट ओनली, वाय नॉट ॲरे? बिकॉज आय वॉन्ट टू स्टोअर नेम ऑफ द पर्सन अँड इट्स टेलिफोन नंबर और हिज और हर टेलिफोन नंबर. त्यासाठी मग आपल्याला ॲरे थोडा क्रिटिकल होईल. लिस्ट इज सच अ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ पायथॉन विच कॅन अकोमोडेट एनिथिंग. म्हणजे त्यामध्ये तुम्ही नंबर स्टोअर करू शकता, स्ट्रिंग स्टोअर करू शकता, किंवा मग पूर्ण ऑब्जेक्ट, कंपोजिट ऑब्जेक्ट किंवा कंपोजिट डेटा इन्क्लुडिंग रोल नंबर ऑफ द स्टुडंट, नेम, पर्सेंटेज, क्लास, डिव्हिजन, ते ऑल टुगेदर यू कॅन स्टोअर मल्टिपल रेकॉर्ड्स. त्यासाठी लिस्ट इज प्रेफर्ड. बट वी डोंट वॉन्ट टू यूज लिस्ट as a dynamic data structure. Rather, we want to restrict our this one list size to certain fixed bucket size. So what I'll be using here? So I'll be using bucket size. Bucket size. Okay. So this is my variable. Now initially my bucket size is 0. So here constructor is completed. Now what I'll be doing? I'll be just modifying this existing code. So I have already created object. But here my choices will not be like this. Vada pav, samosa, bye bye. Rather it will be something meaningful. आता ते काय आहे? ते हे आहे की आपल्याला इथे आधी चेंज करायचं आहे की हा जो प्रोग्राम आहे हा माझा काय करतो? कोलिजन हँडलिंग करतो. तर आय विल बी गिविंग प्रॉपर नेम टू दिस मेनू. So what is that name? That name is this collision handling. So I'll just do one thing. Copy and paste. खाली होतं. Okay, fine. So I'll say copy and I'll put it here in between. Control V. Now also you have to learn this reusability concept. की existing गोष्टी कशा वापरायच्या. Whatever is existing, how to use it, that you have to learn. So this is collision handling techniques. So I will just say TECHNIQU techniques. Done. Fine. If I go wrong in writing spelling, so you may correct it, no problem. Now, what is our first option? So we don't want to change anything else. Just we want to learn how to reuse the program and how to effectively implement the new program from the existing one. ठीक आहे? हे आपला अप्रोच आहे की नवीन प्रोग्राम एक्झिस्टिंग प्रोग्राम मधनं कसा इम्प्लिमेंट करायचा. आता इथे आपल्याला फर्स्ट ऑप्शन वडापाव नको. फर्स्ट ऑप्शन हवं फॉर एक्झाम्पल की आता माझं पहिलं ऑप्शन आहे कोलिजन हँडलिंग आपण करणार आहे using two techniques, but for now what I'll be doing, I'll be just implementing one technique. So what I just want to display an empty hash table. So display hash table. Okay, we will complete and make this program more meaningful as per our problem specification. But for in this particular session, what I want is I want you to understand how to reuse this existing template, because this template will get reflected in all your remaining 12 experiments. Okay, and not just this particular lab, but these will also be getting used, these templates, for your entire engineering labs, different labs till final year. Okay, fine. So I hope that you understood this. तर आता पुढे बघूया आपण. आता आपल्याला काय करायचं, तर हे मॉडिफाय करायचं. डिस्प वडापावच्या ऐवजी काय करायचं आहे, डिस्प हॅश टेबल, हॅश सॉरी हा डिस्प हॅश, डिस्प एच टी म्हणू शकतो मी, डिस्प हॅश टी. ओके, पण आय नीड वन मोर थिंग हिअर. what I need to do is I need to create a hash table, because whatever list I have used here in constructor, those are now empty list and can grow to any size. पण तसं नको मला. मला काय हवं की हॅश टेबल साठी मी ज्या दोन लिस्ट तयार केल्या, त्या लिस्ट मला बकेट साईजच्या हव्या, जेणेकरून मी हॅश कन्सेप्ट प्रॉपरली सिम्युलेट करू शकेल. त्यासाठी काय करायचं मग, सो आय नीड टू डिफाईन वन फंक्शन afresh. What is that function afresh? That is called a create hash table. So I'll say create underscore ht, that is hash table. Again same thing, self, okay, and then I will be having something called a creation of empty list. So how do I create empty list of bucket size b? So obviously what I need to do here in this particular case is I have to pass a bucket size or method will create a bucket of size b. That means it will create an empty hash table of b size. ते कसं करायचं, खूप सोपं आहे. त्यासाठी फॉर लूप वापरायची. फॉर आय इन रेंज, ओके, आणि काय हो, मला रेंज किती हवी, तर मला सेल्फ डॉट बकेट साइज, ओके, सेल्फ डॉट, हे बकेट साइज व्हेरिएबल आहे ना, ते वापरायचं आहे. सो आय करेक्ट इट, इट इज बकेट साइज. सो हे बकेट PUCKET बकेट साइज वापरायचं आहे. डन. आणि त्या पुढे काय करायचं आहे, व्हॉट हॅव टू डू आफ्टर दिस, त्यानंतर आपल्याला करायचं आहे की हा जो लिनियर हॅश टेबल आहे, सो विल बी जस्ट लुकिंग नाव द लिनियर हॅश टेबल and we will create just an empty hash table. आता काय करायचं आपल्याला मग, सो वी नीड टू नाव create an empty hash table for linear probing. So I will say here control C, control V, and आता लिस्ट मध्ये जर का मला 0 entries, I mean to say की I want to make a size hash table of bucket size B, but there is nothing in it. आता त्यामध्ये nothing in it म्हणजे काही नाही, म्हणजे none. तर Python provides you something called a none, that is a keyword which will store as it is value none, that is nothing. तर ते कसं करायचं मग, आता यू नो की हॅश मध्ये लिस्ट मध्ये मला जर काही ऍड करायचं असेल, तर त्यासाठी आपण डायरेक्टली अरे सारखं असाइनमेंट करू शकत नाही. फॉर दॅट व्हॉट डू वी हॅव, येस वी हॅव समथिंग कॉल्ड append method. Yes, append method we have, and in using that append method we will add none to it. Okay, means initially our hash table is empty. Then this we are doing. So what will happen with this, a hash table for linear probing will be created, and of what size, only of the bucket size. म्हणजे आपली लिस्ट जी आहे ती आता फक्त बकेट साइज इतकीच वापरू शकतो. मीन्स वी हॅव रेस्ट्रिक्टेड आवर डायनॅमिक लिस्ट टू दी बकेट साइज. आता लिस्ट क्रिएट करणं एकतर ह्या दोन स्टेप फॉलो करायच्या, किंवा लिस्ट क्रिएट करण्यासाठी व्हॉट यू कॅन डू इज लाईक यू कॅन यूज ऑल्सो अ लिस्ट कम्प्रिहेन्शन. आता ही काय कन्सेप्ट आहे लिस्ट कम्प्रिहेन्शन, म्हणजे ह्या दोन स्टेप्स न लिहिता आपण एकाच स्टेपमध्ये हे सगळं करू शकतो. सो हाऊ टू डू दॅट, सो आय विल बी डुईंग दॅट थिंग फॉर quadratic hash, so that you will understand how this works and what exactly is the list comprehension, which is, it is one of the powerful features of the Python. So how to do it, so I'll be using list function of the Python. and I say store none for what? For I in range. So I have to copy this. I have to copy this. Now see, instead of writing that particular two for loops, two statements to create a I mean to say a list of bucket size, I have this. Means what I have done, instead of writing two statements for creating a list of the bucket size, I have written that statement in as a single statement. So two statements are combined as a single statement, and that too with the powerful feature of Python, that is called list comprehension. Right? So again, you may perhaps experience background noise, so bear with that. So we are going to finish it up within next 5-10 minutes. Okay, and I will send again this recording and program as well. And what you have to do, like for first half, you have to finish up the menu driven wala part, which I already discussed. And in second half, you have to finish up this only this much task, whatever I'll be doing today. So what I need now, so I need this thing. I mean to say, I need to now implement this or execute this. I have already implemented it, so I have to execute this. So display htlinear. So what I'll be doing, my display function will not be simply displaying the entire list. See, if you display the list, काय होतं लिस्ट मध्ये? लिस्ट मध्ये एलिमेंट्स असे I mean to say की it will get displayed continuously, but I want it to be displayed properly. तर त्यासाठी मी काय करतो, I'll just using this particular code, so I'll not type it. So see what I do now here. So as already two batches have implemented that thing, so I'll just copy and paste here. But I'll make you understand that. So instead of print वडापाव, आता इथे वडापाव नाही द्यायचा आपल्याला, आपला हॅश टेबल इम्प्लिमेंट डिस्प्ले करायचा आहे. तर हॅश टेबल काय, बकेट साईज हॅश टेबल आहे. मग मी काय करतो इथे प्रॉपरली डिस्प्ले करतो इंडेक्स ऑफ द हॅश टेबल अँड वॉट एव्हर contents are there in the hash table. So what do I do? So if I say ki there is nothing, none, so display that index and none. Otherwise त्या ननच्या ठिकाणी काही सेव्ड असेल, जे काय असेल ते आपण त्या ठिकाणी सेव्ह करू शकतो, आपलं डिस्प्ले करू शकतो. सो देर आर ओनली टू स्टेटमेंट्स. सो विथ दिस वी कॅन प्रॉपरली डिस्प्ले दी हॅश टेबल, लिनियर हॅश टेबल. ठीक आहे. So what I'll be doing now? Now I will be calling these two functions in the driver code. So first of all, what I have to do, I have to ask user that what is the bucket size, how much bucket size you want. So again, we'll be using, see what I'll be doing. I'll be using copy and pasting this statement because I want that user should enter a bucket size. So with this, user will be prompted to enter bucket size. So bucket size done. So once I get it, what I'll do, I will now call create hash function. का? कारण मला या लिस्ट थ्रू एक हॅश टेबल क्रिएट करायचा आहे ज्याची साईज बकेट साईज असेल. ओके, सो आय हॅव टू पास दिस बी टू इट सो दॅट when this create htt function will be called, so it will create a empty hash table for both linear probing and quadratic probing. So for now we will be just using linear hash table, so that is ht linear. ठीक आहे. आता काय करायचं आहे, आता आपल्याला जस्ट रिप्लेस करायचं आहे. इथे डिस्प्ले करणार आहे आपण, क्रिएट तो ऑटोमॅटिकली व्हाईल लूपच्या बाहेर होईल आणि आपण व्हाईल लूपच्या आत आता हे फक्त ऑप्शन आपल्याला काय करायचं आहे, चेंज करायचं आहे. म्हणजे इन्स्टेड ऑफ कॉलिंग दिस वडापाव विल बी कॉलिंग डिस्प ht linear. एवढंच करायचं आजच्या डेटला. Even if you do this, you will be familiar with this thing, and then we will stop. So you have to finish up this much in today's lab. Once you are familiar, lab you will be comfortable. I don't need to guide all these things. I mean to say, I don't need to guide you with respect to all these things. You will be quite comfortable. ठीक आहे. आता हे झालंय आपलं कोडिंग. आता मी इथे तुम्हाला काय डेमॉन्स्ट्रेट केलं की कसा एक्झिस्टिंग कोड वापरायचा आणि कसे रिसोर्सेस डिफरंट पायथॉन लँग्वेज थ्रू यूज करायची. आता आय विल बी एक्झिक्युटिंग दिस. ओके, fine. So this is our code. So I hope that you understood this. So I'll be sending this code and this video recorded lecture as well, so that you will be comfortable and you'll be implementing this step by step after understanding. Okay. So Harshal sir will be guiding you. Fine. So what I do now is, now we'll execute it. So what I have to do here? So I have to use Python, and ours is experiment number 1. So it is for your batch. It is this one. ठीक आहे. आता काही एरर वगैरे असतील तर आपण काढूया. So there is no error. Fine. Oh, what went wrong? I think by mistake I have. Okay. I forgot. No. Let me check out where did I change make the. It's the same program. No? So why it is not getting reflected? Just a second. Experiment number 1 underscore a1.py. So I should get this thing displayed. But why I'm getting like this? We'll see. 3. Experiment number 1 underscore a1 pi. Yes, now I got it. Perhaps I forgot to save, and that's why it was executing the earlier version. Now it asks me, prompts me for bucket size. Suppose my bucket size is 5. So it has created empty hash table. What I have to do, I have to just now give option 1. So what do I get here? I get, oh, I didn't get anything displayed. So again, we'll do corrections. So I'll come out of this execution, but at least it is displaying the menu, and this one, I mean to say, calling some create bucket function, I hope. So we'll do what is the problem, logical blunder we have made. तर आपण इथे htf टेबल क्रिएट केला, त्यानंतर इथे कॉल पण केला मी, but it's not getting called. htlinear was expected to be called. So htlinear, this htlinear, yes. So here bucket size. Okay, I think I have not set the bucket size. See, I have forgotten this thing. So in create table, what you have to do, first you have to set this b to bucket size to b, bucket size to b, and then only it will get reflected. Otherwise, that by default that bucket size is 0. Not because I have already mentioned that. So here I have mentioned. So that's why it was creating empty hash table. It was getting into this for loop and everything, but empty hash table. But now bucket size is set to be whatever we will be passing through this one. I mean to say through our execution. So I will back. So I'll just this done. So bucket size is 5 now, and I will create display this empty hash table. Still it is not getting display. I don't know where I'm going wrong, because just I'll see what is the problem. This is a logical blunder we are making. Syntactically our program is correct. So we'll see bucket size. Yeah, one more blunder I made. It is a self dot bucket size. Okay. So that is the local variable created, but we don't want local variable. We want to use class variable bucket size. See, this way you can even understand what are the probable mistakes we do while doing program. Even myself, I am making blunders. 5, yes, 1, yes, everything is fine. Now see, a empty bucket of size 5, index starting from 0 to bucket size -1. If our bucket size b is of size 5, indices will be from 0 to b -1, that is 5 -1, 4. And this way your bucket has got created. Now on this bucket we can perform. What you have to do now is you have, with the help of you have to finish up with this immediately after this. Again, suppose I give two option to, again it's you display you got some change option. So it says fine addition and give you this video lecture. He will make this video lecture available to you and you will be able to do it comfortably. Okay, so I'll stop session now. Thank you very much. You continue with the practical.